What is social learning and how is it affected by social media?
Okay, so social learning is a process of information diffusion that involves the sharing and validation of information. And in this specific case of the social movement that we looked at, it was a process of transmitting information that was variously instrumental to the organization and the operation of the movement itself.
What were your major findings from analyzing the People's Assembly's social networks?
We looked at communication on Twitter. We were fundamentally interested in how retweets helped the process of social learning, whether there was any evidence that social learning transpired as a diffusion process. And the findings were interesting in several respects. First of all, we noticed that there was communication around a number of different issues to do with the organization of collective action, also with grappling with the issues, the various issues that myriad organizations and social movement actors had, and issues that were not necessarily known to other members. So you had a disability group that was trying to raise awareness about their concerns with austerity policies. You had student groups that were doing the same about their own issues. So all these issues were fundamentally actualizing, we say, the movement. So they were giving a concrete, I guess, understanding of what the movement was to these various organizations and individuals. And we also monitored the communication of the movement over several months. And what we saw was that this content that speaks to collective organization, to strategizing, to discussing what we call group efficacy. So, what is it that we can do together, and why is it important that we do so? These issues were being communicated from one protest event to the next. So there was a collective memory that was interesting for us to observe.
And how did the People's Assembly's movement differ from other anti-austerity movements?
The main difference, I guess, looking at movements such as Occupy, the 15M, Indy Mado's movement in Spain, was that People's Assembly Against Austerity, rather, was a movement where there were both what we would call autonomous actors, groups that were not aligned with any traditional organizations, trade unions, political parties, and so on and so forth, and individuals, autonomous individuals. And you had these more traditional organizations that were also part of the movement. And that's a new development that we've not seen in previous iterations of anti-austerity protests.